When it comes to fun mascots, there's no shortage of them out there in the world. But when it comes to clown mascots, there's really only a small handful that people think about. Ronald McDonald, Bozo, and even Jack from Jack in the Box was originally a clown. Clowns have been used to advertise a variety of products since their popularity sprang to an all-time high in the 1950s, especially among children. Clowns were even used to advertise cereal, like the Sugar Rice Crinkles Clown and the Kaboom Cereal Clown, which were pretty commonplace. They're even remembered in pop culture today. The Sugar Rice Crinkles Clown is unfortunately in almost every scary clown compilation you can find on the internet, and you can even find the Kaboom Cereal Clown in the background of a Kill Bill scene. But what about the other clown mascots? I mean, surely there's some out there people might not know about, right? Of course there are some out there people might not know about. This is the type of stuff that keeps me awake at night, stuck to my laptop, writing a bunch of stuff that I know only my YouTube audience and me probably cares about. So strap in, get ready, and let's go over 5 clown mascots you might not know about. Honk honk, it's Bouncy here.
And if you have heard about these things before, just say, "Wow, Bouncy, you are so amazing!"
Thank you.
And you are so smart!
Thank you. Number 5, the Fanta Clown. The reason this clown is on this countdown is because it's quite mysterious. Most people in the United States have no idea where the Fanta Clown came from or even remember the Fanta Clown. It's also referred to as the Fanta Jester in some promotional materials and when searching for it in old ads online. A pop vinyl of the Fanta Clown came out a few years ago, which gave clown collectors and Funko collectors alike a few different questions about this jolly little orange jester. Most people really just want to know who designed the Fanta Clown, when was he designed, why was he designed, and where exactly did he come from, because really nobody remembers him. When researching about the Fanta Clown, I found answers to all of these questions. You see, the reason nobody in the United States knows about the Fanta Clown is because the Fanta Clown was not made or marketed in the United States. You see, the Fanta Clown was created for Spanish-speaking audiences in Spanish-speaking countries. In fact, anytime you see the Fanta Clown or an ad of the Fanta Clown, you will notice it's in Spanish and it says Beba Fanta, meaning drink Fanta. And the slogan is usually, Da gusto tener sed, which means it's good to be thirsty. Also, sorry if I butchered any of that. I do not speak very good Spanish. I do try my best though. Anyways, once I was able to track down the Fanta Jester in Spanish, I was able to find the Spanish commercials that were produced in the 60s when the Fanta Jester was first created. All of these commercials were credited to the same animation studio, Estudios Moro, or Moro Studios. This animation studio was ran by 2 brothers, José Luis Moro and Santiago Moro. They are considered to be the Spanish Walt and Roy Disney, and upon further inspection, José Luis's art fits the Fanta Clown style quite perfectly. So you see, a Spanish animation studio animated this fun little clown for Fanta, and it's a piece of Spanish animation history. And I really hope I can get the point across how genuinely talented José Luis Moro was. The Fanta Clown being linked to him in any way is so amazing because he was such a talented artist, and I think it really does show with the Fanta Clown. The Fanta Clown is a very simple design. It's an orange and he has a little green outfit, but it's also more than that. The Fanta Clown is an Auguste Clown. Auguste Clowns usually have a little bit of an orange base, and then they highlight around their mouth and eyes with white, and I think it was really smart that he added white to the orange's design because that's how it can still look like an orange and also still look like a clown. So he used a type of clowning in the design of the orange to make the Fanta Clown, and I think that's really cute. But he also added really cute ideas like the Fanta Clown for ruffles. It's like a darker green color, which is like the leaves of an orange tree. So I am very, very in love with his design choices, and I just think it's really cool that we can relate all of this back to him and credit him and his studio with the design of the Fanta Clown, especially because when you search for the Fanta Clown, really only the Funko Pop comes up and not a lot of information. So I'm really glad that we can at least credit José and give credit where credit is due. I absolutely am obsessed with the Fanta Clown because all of the older ads depict him absolutely insane. He's like knocking back 2 or 3 different sodas in one hand. At some point he has like a mermaid girlfriend and he's like playing around in front of a lion, completely afraid of death. Also, there's a few different ads where there's like other clowns in them, like that just like expands the Fanta Clown universe. Like there's like multiple Fanta Clowns now, like what? And he's like riding donkeys and seals and he just seems like he's having a pretty awesome life. Like I am team 60s Fanta Clown because unfortunately in the 80s they gave him a redesign. I do love 80s animation, but I'm so stuck on the cuteness of the 60s design that I don't like it as much. But I think I'm team 60s Fanta Clown. So let me know in the comments, are you team 60s Fanta Clown or are you team 80s Fanta Clown? I need to know. And if you're from a Spanish speaking country, I would love to know if you grew up with these Fanta Clown ads and like your experience with the Fanta Clown. Also, if you'd like to hear more about the history of Fanta and a little bit more about the Fanta Clown in general, I do recommend the creator Bohemius, who has a video on the Fanta Clown that I came across when I was researching on my own. So I wanted to shout out another creator.
I'll be honest, I really want a Fanta right now. You've had enough sugar.
Number 4. Alfundo the Clown. Alfundo the Clown might be familiar to you if you are from Allentown, Pennsylvania, or you have ever visited Dorney Park. Alfundo, whose name stands for Allentown Has Fun at Dorney, is the clown mascot of Dorney Park. Alfundo's design is based on a 3-dimensional sign that stood above the former coaster station. This sign was of a clown juggling and had stars on his cheeks, a top hat, and a red mouth and ears with red accents. This went on to be the mascot for Dorney Park from the 60s through the 90s, appearing on merchandise and as a park character. Unfortunately, in 1989, the sign itself was starting to wear away, and when the new owner went about trying to remove it to somewhere safer, it quite literally fell apart. In 2014, on the 130th anniversary of the park, a commemorative sign of the Alfundo sign was placed at the original location that it used to hang at. But even then, Alfundo himself wasn't exactly back. In the meantime, Alfundo fans had banded together on the Dorney Park online forum to demand for Alfundo to come back, but he did not do so until the pandemic in 2020, where Alfundo got a new redesign and even started to make quirky appearances on TikTok. And now he is fully back in action. Actually, for Halloween, there was an evil version of Alfundo that is surprisingly well made. I'm not mad at it. I can clock the effort. Seriously, very cool. And with Alfundo's reintroduction back to Dorney, they have made more Alfundo merchandise. I am absolutely obsessed with these giant Alfundo plushies. If I have any followers that can somehow figure out how I can get one of these, please let me know. I will pay you. Like, I need this guy. I need him so bad. I think it's really cool that they like redesigned Alfundo and then are putting Alfundo back into the park and they're doing merch, because Alfundo was always a large part of the park and he had merchandise before this. So he even had merchandise that was like advertised on the tickets, like the Alfundo on the sign, and then that moved on to the like 80s version of Alfundo, which is like my favorite version. I think one of the things that stands out the most to me about Alfundo is because he's based on a giant sign of a giant clown face. This like somehow stayed with his design as a park character, and for some reason he always has like a giant head and giant eyes and like a regular sized body in proportion, which is so funny to me. Like, it gives me Megamind vibes, but also he kind of looks like the ladybug from A Bug's Life. I don't know, it's like he just gives me like unsettling energy, like a forbidden emoji I was never supposed to download to my keyboard, or those like weird redesigned Beanie Babies. I think they're called like Beanie Boos. I don't know. There's just like something so silly about him. It was like to the point that when I saw photos of Alfundo in the parks in the 80s, I actually almost thought he was AI. It looks so silly to me. Are you trying to tell me that doesn't look a little bit AI generated? And especially like I brought up an advertisement that had like a drawn Alfundo on it. It's the same Alfundo. So this is legitimately just what Alfundo looked like, which I find even funnier. Like, what do you mean you looked crazy AI generated big face realness? And then they redesigned him. He still has a big head. And the whole reason is just because he used to be a sentient giant clown face sign. I love that. I love Alfundo. Like, Alfundo is so iconic. I really hope I can like visit Dorney Park just to see Alfundo.
I hope Alfundo continues to have a nice life, even though he looks like a walking emoji. Hey, you can't just call people walking emojis. You literally called him a walking emoji in the video. Well, you don't have to do it twice. Well, yeah, I do. Okay.
Number 3, Bosco the Clown. What if I told you that in the 50s, companies were getting people to drink chocolate milk by selling chocolate syrup in cute little jars and then telling parents in advertising ads that chocolate syrup was actually a milk amplifier that had better daily iron than spinach?
Oh my god.
Well, that's exactly what happened when Bosco started heavily advertising their milk amplifier during children's shows like Popeye, all the way into the 60s. Also, I do find it really ironic that the whole time children were watching Popeye, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat this spinach and I'm gonna be strong. And then the ads were like, and then you're gonna put syrup in your milk and you're gonna get even more iron than spinach. Drink chocolate milk. Bosco had a variety of different mascots, but their main mascot was a bear. This bear was sold in a chocolate syrup jar that was a glass jar with a bear top, and then the chocolate syrup would match the color of the bear. It was very cute, but at some point they wanted to branch out and do something more popular, and clowns were very popular at that time, so they decided to create Bosco the Clown. At first, Bosco the Clown is just a syrup jar. Bosco the Clown didn't have any advertisements. It was just a clown syrup jar that you could purchase at the store. The design of Bosco the Clown on the syrup jar actually reminds me a lot of Koko the Clown. Bosco the Clown on the syrup jar was something that kids would see, and I don't think they had really seen too much like mascot stuff appealing to them at the store, so they would want these really cute jars with these characters on them, and that was where Bosco the Clown really came into play. When the Bosco company would go on to create their first ad for Bosco the Clown, they actually decided to hire an actual clown. This clown was named Paul Jerome, and he is the one who portrays Bosco. And Paul Jerome is actually a legend in his own right. He spent over 25 years with the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus and is mostly known for his iconic tramp clown look, which is probably why they chose the tramp clown look as what they wanted to use to advertise the Bosco the Clown syrup ad. It's kind of interesting because Paul Jerome's tramp clown looks nothing like the Bosco the Clown syrup jar, and then even on the Paul Jerome ad for Bosco the Clown, they like have used a marker or like a crayon to sort of draw on like a red mouth and like a red nose. I'm gonna say it, Bosco company, that was kind of lazy of you guys. You're not bringing it like some of these other mascots. But I did want to bring up Bosco the Clown because I think it is a really good example of how very famous clowns at the time in the 50s and 60s would endorse products and put their faces on them and get a little bit of money through doing that, sort of in the way that social media influencers do now. And that created an abundance of different types of advertising out there that actually does have famous clowns on the advertising, but they're unnamed. Some of them are named, some of them are not. So more often than not, on most different older ads, if they have a clown on them, it's usually someone who worked for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, sort of how Paul Jerome was advertising Bosco. Looked nothing like Bosco the Clown, but was sort of used as a stand-in for Bosco the Clown. A good example of this is I found Bobby K K, who is one of the 4 master clowns if you're interested in watching the master clowns video, but I did find an ad of Bobby K where he is advertising Roxbury candies, and in spite of Bobby K being like insanely famous in the clown community, there is no credit at all. It's just Bobby K. It's just a clown advertising candy. But you know what? Using clowns to advertise all this different stuff really worked, because Bosco the Clown and his clown syrup bottle is still recognized by adults that were children when this syrup bottle was very popular. And you can actually still find quite a few of them on eBay.
This has nothing to do with Bosco the Clown, but Bosco the chocolate syrup was used as good in the Psycho movie. And I just felt like people should know about how that was. Maybe what if they even used one of those little clown chocolate syrups? The timeline, it fits. I think you're scaring the viewers.
Number 2, Scoopy the Clown. Ice cream and clowns, for some reason, just really go together in my mind. I sat and tried to think why I thought that, and it turns out it's because of Scoopy. Also, if we're being real, ice cream and clowns go together in my mind because of Circus Baby, but that's just me having FNAF brain rot. Scoopy the Clown was a clown mascot introduced in the 60s that was used to sell ice cream cones. It's mostly used and advertised as Scoopy's ice cream cones, but actually the brand that owns it is called Safety Cones. Scoopy, whose friendly face was also used to sell straws, always appears as the same graphic, a white-faced clown smiling, with a yellow hat adorned with feathers and a wonderful clown ruffle. Over the years, a lot of different products were available to purchase of Scoopy, most notably a ceramic coin bank and a limited edition Scoopy the Clown doll in 2009. Most people that remember Scoopy when he sold ice cream cones and straws have the same question: who is Scoopy? Because like we mentioned earlier, clowns, actual real-life clowns, were used to advertise stuff. So surely Scoopy was an actual real-life clown. Maybe he worked for Barnum and Bailey. Maybe he was a birthday clown. Right? Well, no, not at all. You see, Scoopy was painted by a man named Alfred Clark, who was a commercial artist that came to the United States from Bristol, England in 1922. Clark made a home for himself and settled down in California, which was when he was commissioned to create Scoopy by the local company Safety Cones. For the design of Scoopy, he simply just painted a clown face over his own portrait. So technically, Scoopy is just the clown persona of Alfred Clark, which for some reason to me totally works. He's just a kind little old man under all of that makeup. And it's kind of funny because he's immortalized as Scoopy. He was a very private person. There's no photos of him. He is mentioned in California art books, and all of this information is verifiable, but in the end it's like, oh, I'm so private about my life. I don't want anyone to look at me or take photos of me. And then it's like, but here I am as a clown. I get that. I feel that. But I really love Scoopy the Clown's design. I think Alfred was onto something. I think he really is very sweet looking, and it does help for some reason advertise these straws and this ice cream and stuff. I love Scoopy the Clown. I am the #1 Scoopy the Clown stan, and I will admit, when I saw the Scoopy the Clown doll, I turned into like SpongeBob in that clip where he's like, I don't need it.
You don't need any more clown stuff. Like, I'm so tired. Oh, every time we go to the thrift store, oh, where's the clowns? You have a problem. Take it back. You have a problem. Take it back. No, I see one more little ceramic man, grown man, tired of it. Now stop getting puppets. They talk a lot. I'm tired. Sorry.
And now, coming in at #1, Brocco the Clown. Do you like the candy circus peanuts? No! Because I love them, chat. The banana flavored candy that literally everyone seems to hate but me. I love circus peanuts, and I went down quite the rabbit hole when it came to circus peanuts. Not only did circus peanuts used to come in a variety of flavors, they were cut up into tiny pieces and thrown into a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios once. And that was actually how they created Lucky Charms. I'm not joking. When you eat Lucky Charms, the texture of the marshmallow in Lucky Charms is the same texture as a circus peanut. And once you know that, you can never unknow that. So I need you to know that. But Bouncy, I can hear you saying, what does this have to do with Brocco the Clown? Well, circus peanuts are sold by 3 different main brands: Spangler, Melster, and Brock's. You see, circus peanuts themselves were a popular candy you could find at any candy store. Selling circus peanuts is the candy equivalent to selling a gummy bear. It's just a type of candy. It's not something that any one company owns, like M&M's, Snickers, or Twix. Many different brands can sell them, and they all pretty much use a variation of the same recipe. Spangler, Melster, and Brock's, actually all 3 started selling them in the early 1900s, and even then, they were using an already well-known circus peanut recipe. They were just capitalizing on being able to officially sell them as a product for their brand. They've also famously come in other flavors, and gourmet candy makers that still make circus peanuts will offer them in other flavors. That's actually why Lucky Charms are not banana flavored. The circus peanuts that were cut up to put in Lucky Charms were flavored. They weren't just banana flavored cereal. Brock's, being one of the 3 companies that sell circus peanuts, came with an idea to create its own clown mascot, because at the time, rival brand Melster had added a clown mascot to their circus peanut packaging. Brock's, which had included clowns in their candy advertising here and there, came up with Brocco the Clown in the 70s during the height of Bozo's popularity. Brocco, whose suit had circus peanut print, Bozo-style hair that was pink cheeks, and a purple hat, was the epitome of a clown of the 70s. Brocco was used to advertise Brock's candy, and they even had a mask of Brocco that children could use to cut out and wear for Halloween. Brock's also used Brocco as a feature of their Circus Clown comic books, which came free with circus peanuts. In the 70s, Brock's had a Brocco the Clown plush pillow you could mail in. This doll was a limited edition promotion offered by Brock's, which was advertised with a large cutout of Brocco placed by the displays of circus peanuts. To the surprise of absolutely nobody, I tracked this item down and hunted it in the jungles of eBay, where I entered a deeply personal bidding war to fight for my very own Brocco.
This is my giant Brocco. He's in the plastic. Should I release him from the plastic? Comment if you think I should release Brocco and keep the bag. Comment if you think I should keep Brocco in the bag because he's never been taken out of the bag. Also, here is the, mail-in thing where he was first, mailed in for. So that he's, legitimately never been out of this package. He's surprisingly firm.
Brocco the Clown was one of my very favorite things I found out that existed, because it's a huge joke amongst my friends and family that I like circus peanuts. So finding out that there was a clown mascot that was used specifically to advertise circus peanuts was definitely one of my favorite things that I found out, and I have a huge soft spot now for Brocco the Clown. He is my favorite, I think, clown mascot of all time, which is why I placed him at number 1.
Bouncy, I don't know why you would add Brocco to our clown family, but I'm over it. When he talks like this. Because he's into plastic. He's suffocating. I mean, at least let him out. He doesn't even know what air is like. I feel kind of bad for the guy. I can smell the roses. I can smell when you make curry and stuff. I can smell all of that. I think Brocco just smells, air from 1960, however long ago that was. I think you should just let him out. But wouldn't that decrease the value? The value of to who? You? The only person in the world who wanted that specific thing? You're getting a little personal, you know. Maybe we should ask Brocco what Brocco wants. I don't think Brocco could tell us what he wants. He's suffocating. I could try, but at that point, I'll be honest, Bouncy, being with you is a trip. Tell everyone goodbye so we can sort this out. Bye!
And that about wraps it up. 5 clown mascots that you probably didn't know about. Did you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more clown content. Clownton? Yeah, like and subscribe if you want to get silly. Bye!